We're wrapping up our look back at the 2015 NFL Draft here at SeniorBowl.com with the Reese Senior Bowl Executive Director Phil Savage. We're down to the 7th round and what you like to call the 8th round, which is a very important round. Those are the undrafted free agents.
Yeah, when almost 30% of the starters and Pro Bowlers and every other category is made up of undrafted free agents, this is like the 8th round. And the highest player taken in the 7th round from our Reese Senior Bowl was Hazed Pollard, the linebacker from USC. Now, this was a very productive performer for the Trojans over the last number of years. For whatever reason, he slid all the way through the draft in the 7th round. The Browns take him. I think they got a good football player right here.
Who, it's hard to say you got a bump going to the 7th round, but this is a player maybe that wasn't going to be drafted, and all of a sudden he's got a team and a contract.
Yeah, I traveled to Searcy, Arkansas this past football season, 2014. Went to Central Arkansas, saw a receiver named Desmond Lewis, invited him to the game. He was here in Mobile. I actually thought he performed extremely well. Got to the combine. This is a bigger receiver, ran in the 4.5s. High 4.5 range, and so he slides to the 7th round. But I thought for a player from a Division II school to get bumped up because of his performance here at the Senior Bowl, he gets drafted by the Buffalo Bills in round 7.
We see it all the time. A player who's drafted in the 7th round or even undrafted makes an immediate impact to a football team. Who's the guy out of your group here that might have some immediate help to a club?
Well, the player I chose was Cody Prewitt, the free safety out of Ole Miss. And, of course, he ended up not being selected, but he signed by the Tennessee Titans. And I think as they begin to remake their secondary and try to find some young players for them to go forward with on the defensive side of the ball, Cody Prewitt might very well be one of those players. He was a ball magnet at Ole Miss the last 2 years, all SEC performer. I think it was quite surprising for him to not be selected at all. But anyway, he signs with the Titans, and I think it'll be a good opportunity for him.
Based on recent developments, I'm guessing I know who your value pick is, and this could turn out to be a great value.
Yeah, you talk about maybe the best value in the entire draft this year. 256 players plus hundreds more signed as undrafted free agents. But the story of Lyle Collins, inking with the Dallas Cowboys. He will go there, and likely, if he's not a plug-in-and-play starter, he will be a very valuable 6th man to that all-pro offensive line that they have. He's a future starter, if not this year, certainly by 2016. But Lyle Collins will have a 30-for-30 story about him 20 years from now in terms of what he went through and the circumstances surrounding his fall through 7 rounds of the National Football League draft. But he finds a place that has really shown that they value offensive linemen, the Dallas Cowboys. They now have 3 legitimate first-round picks in Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, and Travis Frederick, and now they add essentially a 4th first-rounder to the mix in Lyle Collins.
And it's a solid offensive line and very young as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, our final category is a spotlight, a person you'd like to spotlight out of this group.
Yeah, and of the undrafted free agents, I think the most interesting one to track and monitor is going to be Nick Marshall out of Auburn. He made the transition to corner here in Mobile at the Reese Senior Bowl. He was coached by the Jacksonville Jaguars, and where did he sign? With the Jags. So I think that they will give him the time to develop. I think they saw enough in their exposure here to give him the time and the coaching and the background to really make this transition from quarterback to corner. And at 6'1½", 205 pounds, and as athletic as he is, I think that they're really going to make an investment and see what they have 18 months from now.
Yeah, that was a tough transition for him that week, going from quarterback and just after 2 or 3 years of not playing quarterback, corner, jumping out and playing corner against some great receivers. Now they get a little extra time with them, and we'll see what they can do down there in Jacksonville. That's our wrap of the NFL Draft. Another successful draft for the Reese Senior Bowl.